The price tag on a house is the single most misleading number in personal finance. You see a home listed at $440,000. You do some quick math on the monthly payment and you think you know what it costs. You don't. Not even close, because the price is just the entry fee. The real cost of owning that house is buried in numbers nobody puts on the listing, money that leaves your account every month, and thousands of dollars you will simply never see again. This is the real math on what buying a house actually costs, not the sticker price, the whole bill. Let's use the real median home price. As I'm recording this, it's about $440,000, an all-time high. Put 20% down, take a mortgage at roughly today's rate, and the bank quotes you a monthly payment of around $2,300 for principal and interest. That $2,300 is the number that sticks in your head. It's the number you budget around, and it is not what the house costs you each month. Here's what the bank's quote leaves out, and once you add it back in, the real number is dramatically different. Start with the costs that show up every single month, whether you like it or not. Property taxes. On a home like this, figure around $400 a month, though this one swings hard by location, from almost nothing in some states to more than double that in others. Homeowners insurance. Call it another $160 a month, and rising fast. Premiums are up nearly 50% in 5 years. And maintenance. This is the one people forget entirely. The rule of thumb is 1 to 2% of the home's value a year, but real-world data now puts the average closer to $8,000 or $10,000 annually. Even at the low end, that's roughly $350 a month every month for a roof that ages, a furnace that dies, a water heater that quits. Add it up, that $2,300 mortgage quote, the true cost of owning the home is closer to $3,200 a month. That's more than 40% above the number the bank showed you, and it's before you've turned on a single light or paid a water bill. But the monthly number, as brutal as it is, isn't even the part that costs you the most. Here's what nobody tells first-time buyers. A huge chunk of what you pay in the early years doesn't build you anything. It just evaporates. 2 ways. First, the closing costs. Just to buy the house, you'll pay somewhere between 2 and 5% of the price in fees, appraisal, title, lender charges, taxes. On this home, that's roughly $9,000 to $22,000, gone the day you get the keys. And when you eventually sell, it's worse, 6 to 8%, mostly agent commissions. Round trip, buying and selling a home costs you around 10% of its entire value in pure friction, money you never get back. Second, and this is the one that stuns people, the interest. In the early years of a 30-year mortgage, almost none of your payment goes toward actually owning the home. Watch this. On a $400,000 loan, in your very first year, you'll pay about $26,000 in interest. And how much of your loan balance do you actually pay off that same year? About $4,000. Let that sink in. For every $1 of equity you build in year 1, you hand the bank more than $6 in interest. You made 12 mortgage payments, and your ownership stake barely moved, which leads to the single most important number in this whole video. Put it together. Roughly 10% of the home's value lost to buying and selling friction, plus early payments that build almost no equity. And one thing becomes clear: a house needs time to make financial sense. For decades, the guideline was the 5-year rule. Stay at least 5 years before selling, or you'll likely lose money. But at today's rates, that math has stretched. Recent analysis puts the real break-even point for a new buyer closer to 10 years in many markets. So here's the honest, real math on buying a house. First, the sticker price is the beginning, not the end. Before you decide you can afford a home, budget the true monthly cost: mortgage plus taxes plus insurance plus real maintenance, not the bank's quote. Second, budget the cash you'll never get back. Closing costs on the way in aren't part of your down payment, they're on top of it. Have them ready. Third, and most important, buy a house you plan to keep. If there's a real chance you'll move in 3 or 4 years, the math frequently favors renting, because you won't own the home long enough to earn back what it cost you to buy and sell it. Buying isn't automatically smarter than renting. It's smarter over time, and only if you give it that time. A house isn't a monthly payment. It's a long-term commitment with a real cost of entry and a real cost of exit. Run those numbers before you fall in love with the kitchen. So be honest with yourself before you buy. How long do you actually plan to stay? Drop keys in the comments with your number: 3 years, 10 years, forever. And I'll tell you what the math says about buying versus renting for your situation. If this saved you from a payment you hadn't budgeted for, subscribe. It's all real math, no hype, and it's the kind of number crunching that quietly saves people thousands. Keep drawing your way to wealth.